Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, for the 2022 Junior Worlds event recap, and man, do we have a ton to talk about. From USA having some pretty eye-opening performances to great foreign wrestlers showing their star power to just young and up-and-comers really growing their stock, there was just a lot to enjoy with this year's Junior World Championships. Yes, I know USA did not come home with the team title in either of the three styles, but man, we still had some amazing performances. However, before we dive too far into that, hi everyone, my name is Tanner and welcome to TrueTan Wrestling, the one-stop shop to find college wrestling news, event preview / recaps, and so much more all within the wrestling space. As I've said, Junior Worlds was great, so if you enjoyed that event as much as I did, consider liking this video or subscribing to the channel for more. I just broke down the class of 2022 entering into their college season, so check that video out if you missed it before, along with leaving a comment on this video with your thoughts or questions throughout. Now that's enough for me in this long-winded intro. Let's talk about the Junior World Championships. Let's start this party off with some Greco news, and if you were just here for freestyle or women's freestyle, I have all the respect to that, but there's time codes below so you can skip around if you want. But I'm going to give my respect to all styles, and we're starting with the Greco guys first. Team Iran stormed through this event, really showing their promise in basically all three styles. Iran has always been solid, but they're having themselves a summer, and it has been a race between USA and Iran in men's freestyle and Greco. I'll talk about who's leading the charge and women's in a little bit, and I think most of you know, but if you don't, take a guess in the comment section below. But to move back to the USA men's in Greco-Roman, who finished in 14th place, only receiving one medal in the long run with not much success and not a lot of backside success either. Mateo's coming off winning a few stop signs at Fargo and a pretty fun finals in freestyle, which I guess translated over pretty dang well for him being a walking highlight machine to get himself a Greco world medal, taking home the bronze place spot. To mention some other names of note, there was Christian Carroll, a top recruit in the class of 2023, losing his first match to go 0-1 on the tournament, losing to the Kazakhstan representative. Robert Perez at 67 kilograms went 2-0, making the quarterfinals, before losing a tight 3-3 match to the Kazakhstan representative, who would fail to win the semis, ultimately knocking Perez out, unfortunately. Perez was honestly on a really tough side in the 67 kilogram bracket. He had the world champ and one of the bronze medalists on his side, so not bad in my eyes. Payne Jacobson was another guy that I thought looked pretty good for being in such a loaded field, winning his only match in the repechage before dropping a 3-1 tight match to the Azerbaijan representative. To be fair, I think USA still has a long way to go in Greco before we start coming home with medals consistently, but one thing we are doing consistently is at least bringing one medal back year over year, and sometimes things don't just happen in one spur. It takes a bunch of little jumps before you can have a big jump. Before we go into the women's wrestling, shout out to Azerbaijan, who took home silver as a team, right behind Iran and Greco. Speaking of Iran, they had 8 of their 10 representatives medal at this Greco World Championships, and then Azerbaijan didn't even have a full team of 10, but still finished in the second place spot, so very well done in the Greco style of these two countries. To move to our women's team, they had some really fun ladies to watch on the team. However, we once again fell short to Japan, who was just lights out here. USA in the long run finished in 3rd place overall, with India ever so slightly edging them out to take the 2nd place spot. But for a tough junior field, 3rd place is still pretty great for the USA ladies. With that said though, wow, India is just really getting good in women's wrestling, along with their men's program, to be honest. Historically, they've always had some great individuals, but now they're starting to have great teams, which is great for the growth of wrestling. In retrospect, USA had a pretty tough day one with a lot of things not going in their favor. However, there was one hero in Audrey Jimenez who doubled up this summer wrestling in Cadet and Junior Worlds. But unfortunately, she would fail to medal at Cadet Worlds, but she would come here and make the Junior World Finals, looking really crafty and back to her true form in wrestling, in my opinion. She really had herself a run, taking home silver, only losing to the Japan representative, who was an absolute stud. Then heading into day 2 for the women's wrestling for USA, it was a totally different narrative, with several women making the medal stand and bringing home medals to good old USA. Of course, I would be failing to do my job if I did not mention Amit Elor taking home the only gold medal for USA women's in extremely dominant fashion. All I have to say is I'm really excited to see her represent Team USA on the senior level in about a month coming up here. Sophia Macaluso would also be the 3rd finalist of the tournament and the 2nd silver medalist medalists for Team USA. Then of course we had a huge handful of bronze medalists like Tristan Kelly at 76 kilograms, Adu Noochukwu at 62 kilograms, and finally Katie Gomez, the 53 kilogram representative, all brought home a bronze medal and helped Team USA reach a third place stand with that. Overall, great job by our women. This tournament is not easy by any means, and they are bringing home a ton of medals and what I believe is the most medals ever at this event. India just beat them out on the medal count with 7 medalists, and I also cannot forget to mention India got their first ever junior world champion in Antum at 53 kilograms, making history for them. And then of course, while we're on the subject of the women's stand, Japan just ran away with it, literally going 10 for 10 on the medal stand, taking home 8 of the 10 gold medals. And they also won every single final they were in, which is just wow. They are just so good on the women's side of things, it's incredible. Finally, to wrap everything up, we have men's freestyle. USA had an impressive day 1, but Iran just had a way better day 2 to take home the junior world title in men's freestyle. This summer has been a blast having a rivalry between Iran and USA. It kind of stinks that Russia isn't in the hunt to make the field even better, but hey, I'll take an awesome 1v1 team race any day. However, let's dive into this insane madness from the men's freestyle tournament. USA had 2 world champs that have truly blew up their stock this summer. There was 57 kilogram representative Jor Volk, the Wyoming commit, entering his college freshman season. Volk didn't even win the US Open, but man, he for sure won the US trials and he navigated a super tough bracket to win himself a junior world title. To give credit where it is due, he really had to dig deep to win some extremely tough matches, and honestly, really great for him. I'm super excited to see what they do with him at Wyoming this season. USA's other champ was Ben Cuter, who still has another year of high school and is a multiple sport athlete. I bring this up because he looked so strong and conditioned for a dude who was training football at the same time. And to really put in perspective how great this performance was, most of his teammates all have college backgrounds already, whether they're training in the college rooms because they're going to become freshmen or they were redshirt freshmen this past season. Either way, he's still in high school. He doesn't have any of that. So winning a junior world title is super impressive. Congratulations to him. Overall, both of our world champs had super impressive runs, but let's take a look at the rest of the junior team. I'll start with some of the guys who just ever so slightly missed out on the medal stand. For starters, there was Alex Facundo at 74 kilograms, who was having an amazing summer smashing through America to make this world team. He lost his first match to Irfan Ilala, the Iran representative, at 74 kilograms, and then 70 kilograms for the senior team, so yeah, a really good Iranian. However, with that said, Facundo wrestled him extremely tough for how elite he was. The unfortunate part about that though, he would get upset by the India representative 10-5, knocking him out in the next match, which also knocked Facundo out of the running for a medal. To be honest, I really think with a different placement, Facundo could have possibly medaled. However, that just wasn't the setup for him in this bracket. With that said though, 74 kilograms was loaded. Like the champ Gadziev of Azerbaijan was absolutely incredible to watch and well deserved of winning this bracket, so I'm not sure if Facundo would have beat him, but I mean, who knows. Brandon Thompson was another guy to miss the stand, and he was having some success on the senior level, beating some domestic guys, so I was really excited to see him compete, but after losing a 6-1 match to the Iran representative and then falling to the Turkey rep 2-1 in the repechage, he would finish his tournament 0-2 unfortunately. Nick Feldman, our heavyweight representative and the #1 pound for pound guy in his class, lost to some future freestyle stars during his journey to miss the medal stand and place 5th. The Iranian he lost to I think is seriously going to be a threat when he enters the senior level, and that says a lot because Iran already has a pretty big threat there, which I don't understand how they're so deep at heavyweight, but they just are. The other 5th place finisher was Cornell's more than likely 141 starter Vince Cornella, who lost out on medaling on some questionable calls in my opinion, but he took 5th place, still pretty good at Junior Worlds. Nick Bouzakis was another guy missing the medal stand, but still got some big wins. He had the Iranian wrestler on the ropes for a little bit during his quarterfinal match, but then lost a little bit of control to fall to the eventual silver medalist, and then he would drop his next match in the wrestlebacks to place 7th. The next guy to mention before we get back into our medalist is Jackson Smith, beating some good opponents to place 5th, but lost in the bronze medal match. I think he had a pretty alright redshirt season last year for Maryland, and after this I'm pretty excited to see him in a Maryland singlet full time. Overall though, thinking about it, we only had 4 medalists, but one good thing about those 4 medalists is that all 4 of them made the finals, so the last 2 guys to mention were our silver medalists for the tournament. The first guy to talk about is is Mitchell Mesenbrick from Wisconsin at 70 kilograms, the Cal Baptist commit. And to give credit where credit is due, this kid has really grown into himself, and he had some incredible matches to make the finals, but the Azerbaijan representative was just a little bit better than him, so a tough loss, but a deserved champion for sure. Then we had another small school commit of South Dakota State with Bennett Berge, making the finals at 86 kilograms, losing to the France representative Rakima Magoyev. That name doesn't really sound very French to me, but anyway, Berge had a great run and really gassed out his guy in the semifinals to make the Junior World Finals, and he definitely deserves this silver medal that he's taking home. Overall, Iran for sure deserved to take home this Junior World title with 8 medalists of their 10 representatives, and 3 of which were gold medalists. USA finished in second with several placers, but realistically only had 4, but all of those did make the finals with 2 of them reaching the gold stand. It really stinks to see USA lose here, especially after winning a cadet title just a month ago, but Iran really wrestled well and USA did their best, so we really can't say much. And for USA fans, this is a great guide to show you what we have to look forward to on the college scene these next couple years. Well everyone, that was the Junior World Championships. We got to see some great foreigners that are going to be stars in a couple years, and I always think this is a great test to see how some redshirts or incoming freshmen are going to do on the college scene. Let me know your thoughts on your favorite college freshman or redshirt freshman, or heck, there were some high schoolers on the team, in the comment section below, along with leaving your thoughts on the event down there as well. Please feel free to leave a like on this video if you enjoyed, and go ahead and check out the channel and subscribe to good old TrueTan Wrestling. Now with all that said, I hope to see you all in the next one. Take care, everybody.